السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله.
لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة الصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة ودرجة مقام محمدا الذي وعدته. يا الله. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وخليله. عباد الله، أوصيكم بتقوى الله وطاعته وكثرة مخافته ولزوم أوامره، فإن التقوى شعار المؤمنين ودثار المتقين ووصية الله تعالى في وفيكم أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة في الدين ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters in Islam, when we do our work in our life, we always do the comparison. And the comparison is from the chain of what you do in your life, as well as that's a larger scope, or in a smaller way, that based on the action. For example, the person want to be a doctor or want to be an engineer. Before even he get to that step, we'll look at how is the future of the doctor, to see exactly how is the life of the doctor, and how is the life of the engineer, how is the life of any other works that is in his mind or her mind to be that person. So we'll analyze it based on the finance, based on the load of work, and so on and so forth. And then we'll make a decision. That's one. Second, based on that's a larger scope. Based on the small matter of the action. You do one action. If I will do this, this is what I get. So if the person has done it in his life, he will know the result because based on the experiment he has done it. Or we'll look at someone, how that person does, and then he will imitate that person. We'll know we'll get to that result. If you do the wrongdoing, if you do hashakum drug dealing, if you get caught, you'll be arrested. So you know that where will be the destination. And if you do the good, how the praise from the people will come to you. And this is if you look at it in this life only. Of course, in the hereafter is the same. Now, if you apply the same concept of the hereafter, it's the same thing, but it's not easy. It's not easy to compare what you will get in the hereafter and what you will have in this dunya. Why? Because we don't have the visual exactly how you look in the hereafter. It's all in the books. It's in the context of the content of some revelations that is in front of you will tell you how you end up in this life and what will be your future. Therefore, the life is really, there are what we came in this life. One is hidden when you were nothing. On the earth that where your parents were not exist, there was nothing to be called you that this is a person, this is a human. Now, when your mother pregnant and then you come to this life, really in reality, we come into the three lives that we are in. Hayatul dunya, hayatul barzakh, hayatul akhirah. And this is either way, hayatun tayyiba, it will be a good life, three of them, or it will be al-ma'isha al-dhank, it will be three of them worse that you will go through them. But the one which we have control is the baseline for us is the life of dunya. The other lives are really depending on this life. That's what we are in. Now, the comparison is always hard. Now, you look at your kids. One of them maybe is 25, 30, from 20 and above. And the other one is 10. Look at their character, their mindset. It's like a generation gap. It's like 100 years between them. The life is so complicated now. It becomes so hard that generations within 10 years, you feel that this came from another planet and this is another one. It's two different ways they communicate, the way they talk, the way they behave, and so on and so forth. How about when you are in this life, and then there is another life comes in the hereafter, completely all the functions and equations are different. That's why the baseline here, you have to look at it as a bigger picture. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith رواه البزار والطبراني بإسناد صحيح لا لم تزل قدما عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربعة. The steps will not go across in the hereafter for anyone except you will be asked 4 questions. 4 questions to answer them. Number 1 is عن عمره فيما أفنى. The age that he has spent it. How did he spend it? Now this question is always will be asked, how do I know the question that how do I spend my age? You are in this stage, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, whatever age you have. Look at it. If someone will tell you who you are and how did you spend your life, what character will define you, what personality that will define you. Is just the person, man of the money and wealth, running behind it? Is it is man of this the dunya and the hereafter, or whatever that you could define yourself where you are? So that age, how did you spend it? At that point, imagine you will die at that point. What is the core that you have done? Do you touch the haram every day, the job that you do? Or the job you are doing is benefiting people, is benefiting path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's never late for anyone to change. Therefore, the main thing is to see the core of your life, where is it? Where it goes. And that's where you have the result, the answer of that question. Therefore, hereafter is one of those, the question is given. The question is given and the answers is given as well to you. So it's really no any complexity of hereafter to say what is the question, what will be this exam. The exam is here. You have the open book and here the answers if you do them right. So it's all on us just to apply the right answers to the questions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it in this life. The second is عن شبابه فيما أبلاه. The youth. How did you spend your youth? Now the youth is also a matter of the questioning that person himself or herself. How their behavior. It comes to the behavior. Because the youth is the time that you build a foundation to bring your personality, who you are, who you will be when you become adult and more responsible. So the youth time is very, very critical. And that's where the entire world built upon civilization on the youth people. The manpower of the youth is where the whole core of the development is. When you get old, people will make decisions, but the one who does the work is the youth. Now you have to ask yourself who you are. How do you spend your youth time, that the age that you are in? Number 3 is وعن ماله كيف اكتسب وفيما أنفقه. Now the wealth has 2 questions. How did you earn it and how did you spend it? Imagine you think having money is really happiness. It's wallahi not. Wallahi is a responsibility. Sometimes it's just you look at the people and the needy, when you look at them so happy with that, you say, wallahi, what will be the difference? The enough he has to survive. But when you're stuck with more money, how did you earn it and how do you spend it? Because both of them are really tough. You get it and then you don't want to spend it for the sake of Allah. Maybe you get it right, but you spend it wrong. Or you get it wrong, you spend it right. But those, they go together. You have to really put them in balance and know what you are doing. That's why any of those, I was listening to one of the statements that day. It says, if you lose money, you didn't lose anything. If you lose money, you didn't lose anything. If you lose health, you lost something. But if you lose your character, you lost everything. Because the character will define you, who you are. The character is the one who will tell you how do, because losing the money sometimes out of your hand. It will come and go. This is the life of تِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. We all know how much you are smart, how much you do the right thing. Companies and things, like for days they were at the highest, they came down. And all us run by smart people. But this is the life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give this life, the cycle of life, to only one group. It goes up and down. But therefore, it's really a matter of gaining that wealth. How you struggle and how you go through the hardships to make sure that you gain it on the right way. And number 4, وَعَنْ عِلْمِهِ فِي مَاذَا عَمِلَ بِهِ. The knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you. You learned something. You went to the school. You gained some education. How did you use it? You get a degree, now where are you spending it? You are a bartender. Are you doing only just all your paper is about alcohol and gambling and all those? Or you go at that's your pure work? Or it is matter of that you are saving people or helping people. So the Muslim has to have that comparison in a way to say what will make it, this life, the barzakh, the akhirah, to be the best life. That sequence, not to break that chain. But if you break it, then the result will be in a wrong side. And that's, therefore, al-abd, the maqula says, al-abd bayna makhafatayn. It's between 2 fears. بين أجل قد مضى لا يدري ما الله صانع فيه. For certain ajal, the fate that we already done with it. We are at this age, you spend 50, 20, 30, whatever years. You don't know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do with you for that age that you spent. Now another one is coming, that وَأَجَلٍ قَدْ بَقِيَ. There is another fate of you in the future that coming, that مَاللَّهُ قَاضٍ فِيهِ. You don't know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided on you to have in that reminder. But فَلْيَأْخُذِ الْعَبْدُ مِنْ نَفْسِهِ لِنَفْسِهِ. Therefore, it's really important for every person to take that, to use yourself to benefit in a right way. وَمِن دُنْيَاهِ لِآخِرَتِهِ. And use this dunya for the sake of the hereafter. وَمِنَ الشَّبِيبَةِ قَبْلَ الْهَرَمِ. When you are young, before you get old. Wallahi, when you get old, it's just, maybe you don't feel it. But it's not, age is not something to come directly. To say, okay, this person is young and become old in this day. It's a transition. Ask anyone when he has age, certain age to go, that the dysfunction, how it comes gradually, you feel it. If we would have like a computer system, a save point, to say, save it in this point, and then be able to feel that strong strength and pain, if you show it on the chart, it will be so much beautiful. But that's not possible. We can't save the pain, we can't save the strength and show it. It's just, that feeling is maybe on the paper or on a video, you see it. But we will lose it. You feel that when you stand up, the legs are not the same that when you are jumping and running in a side. Therefore, that piece is really make it as a point for you to benefit from the hereafter. Any person in this life we have to look at it as a traveler. And any traveler, you have a mission. The mission is what is in your heart, what you are trying to gain to the other destination. I mean, this is a one-way travel that we have to do. It's not in our hand. If you have to take it, you come, you grow up, you carry this body with you. The body is just, it's a container that you are taking it. And the container, we don't control it. We put some fixed patches around, we put stuff around it. But the person, I was talking to my brother yesterday, we are in the 50s. And we were talking and saying, I really, when I speak with the feeling, I don't feel that I'm in that age. With the feeling, you speak as if you are still 20s and 30s. Why? What's the point? Because the soul, the part which has the power in it, doesn't feel the body that's coming, unless will be hit at the big impact. When the big impact of the body comes, the function of the body, then you feel it. Otherwise, as a soul, if you ask any 70, 80 person, al-amal is always in the human being's heart. It will stay there. That's why the people that, look at Buffett, is 90 above. He looks at and analyzing markets as if he's 20. Does he think that he will live forever? But this is the way it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it this life that way so that life will continue. But for the believer, is always will look at it that you are a traveler. This body you have is a trust. You will get, you got it free, without any, you did not pay anything to it. You are in this life and then you will give it back. And give it back is really deep function and will be melted in the ground as it was in the past. Nothing comes with it. So the part which will stay is that the part which is responsible for the actions that what we go through it. And in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in two places does the comparison. Listen to this. In Abasa and in Ma'arij. In Abasa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الصَّاخَّةِ. When the hereafter comes, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. So remember this sequence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that day comes, everybody, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ. Al-mar' here is really a rajul, because he's talking about the sahiba. Sahiba is the woman, the zawja. Al-mar'a came here, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ. The man will run away. From whom? Min akhihi, his brother. Then ummihi, mother, and then the father, and then the wife, and then the children. So these sequences are coming. So when you have something, if you have something in your possession, if you are in an urgency, to say run. You have a computer, you have bag of money, you have a TV, you have the other stuff. It said run. You have to run. So what are you going to do? You look at surrounding what is the best value and what is easy that you could carry as much as you can. That's the logic, the way people, the intellect will do. You don't grab a TV and then you have a bag of money. You don't do that. So in hereafter, when you run away, you start to give away from the things that has less priority in the list. You give up your brother first. First you say, if you have a choice that you give a mother, father, children, and wife, you keep those, you run away from the brother. The second from the mother. The mother here, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, remember, Quran came in general. People will see the father more in a way to have a power, to help you, to be a sustainer for you. Therefore, you give up from the one which is weakening on you. And then third to the father, you will give away. Before that, to the wife, the partner of your life, the wife. And then you don't want to give up. You are ready to give up all of the last one is your children. The bani. Unless somebody is afraid of their wives. They want to give up their children and give the wife. May Allah help those. But in general, people, that's the way they do. They give up that, the last one is the kids. And then even with that, finally, he will even run away from that. وَبَنِي, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for himself, لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. Everybody will think about himself. At the last point is just you. You will stay by yourself because that's what you want. Now, in Ma'arij, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَسْأَلُ حَمِيمٌ حَمِيمًا. In that day when the punishment comes, the friend, the qareeb is a kinship. The friend or the one who is very close to you will not benefit the friend. The one is close will not benefit each other. يُبَصَّرُونَهُمْ يَوَدُّ الْمُجْرِمُ لَوْ يَفْتَدِي مِنْ عَذَابِ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِبَنِيهِ. In that day, the one who is doing the wrongdoing is ready first بِبَنِيهِ. Goes to the hereafter. Now they throw him in the hellfire. So if I give you the best value that I have is the children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts there with bani. I will give you this. This is the best in my heart. I will give you this, but save me, not to go there. And then وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَأَخِيهِ. Then will not be accepted. I will add to it my wife. I will add to it the parents, the brother. وَفَصِيلَتِهِ الَّتِي تُؤْوِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention father and mother here. It's mentioned the entire tribe. I will give you the whole family, the whole cluster. I will give you all. And after all of this, and then وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ يُنْجِيهِ. The entire earth. The entire earth, if it will be in my hand, he will give it to you just for himself to be saved. It's a tough work. Imagine when you get to that position that you see the suffering of the hellfire, and then وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ يُنْجِيهِ كَلَّا إِنَّهَا لَظَى. And that's why, brothers and sisters in Islam, the matter of fixing this life is a bridge for the hereafter. Is a travel that how you make that trip, the destination is in your mind. What is your function in this life to get to the hereafter? I will finish the second khutbah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها وما ربك بظلام للعبيد. توجه إلى الله بالدعاء. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. Brothers and sisters in Islam, anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created in this life has two reasons. It has the appearance, zina, and then it has the maqsad, the purpose. Look at everything. It's created, you'll see that in that. For example, plants. When you plant, the plants itself has zina, beauty, in a way that somebody will plant the wheat. Or you look at the trees of peach tree or apple tree or any other cherry tree. The time comes, you'll see the flowers. So there's a zina, it gives it to it. But the maqsad, the purpose of that, it's not for that. That's a temporary, comes and goes. But the purpose of it is the fruit, that we want to collect the thimar after that. So that's in that side. Clothes, that we wear these clothes. Every clothes has the feature of to be beautiful, that people wear it. But the maqsad, the purpose of the clothes, is not just for that. لِسِتْرَ الْعَوْرَةِ, to cover your private. So to cover what is common that we have to. So this always, those two things, you look at them in the life. And look at, and follow what I am saying. Ad-dunya. Dunya, the entire thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Kahf, إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا مَا عَلَى الْأَرْضِ زِينَةً لَهَا. On this earth, we made it so much beautiful. Things are very beautiful. لِنَبْلُوهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. It's not just to show you how the power, to show the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to make you happy, to give you the lahu wa la'ib to see it in this life. But the purpose is not that. The maqsad is لِنَبْلُوهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. The purpose is the action, that what you are carrying. Therefore, the Anbiya wa Rasul, and this is what will make it harder. For those, the prophets, when they came, they started to hit the maqsad, the purpose. They did not go to the part of the, they won't go to the part of the zina to dunya. Do this, your life is just be happy. Because all our demands will tell you to wake up at 4 a.m. to do the prayer. Is that part of the zina? There is no zina there. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, maybe you slept, you're tired at work, but that's where the maqsad is, your job here. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That's the purpose that you have. That's why their mission is hard. Their missions were always rejected by people, majority of the people, to stop them. Because people in general, we don't see the maqasid. We don't see the purpose of the things. That's why you have a hard time to convince your kid to say study and to gain. And you look at it, the person was successful in a better degree. This one is just struggling to open the book. Can't you see it? Like even face to face, you have a hard time. He's 15, 16, 17, 18, even in the college degree. How about if you don't even see the hereafter? This is the way you imagine the purpose of the prophets and Anbiya, because they look at it in other side. In the hadith, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sahih Muslim came, hadith Jabir radiallahu anhu, مر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بجدي أسك ميت. Prophet ﷺ with a group of the Sahaba, they passed by a place, they saw a dead goat. A dead goat, that the dead goat that had a shorter ears, and the ears was cut. And when the goat has a cutting ears, is not preferred among the people at that time in Medina. There were people, it's like, I don't know which card, to say, people, they didn't like it, that type of, it has a very less value. Short ears, and then when you cut it, it's worse. Now this is dead. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَتَنَاوَلَهُ فَأَخَذَ بِأُذُنِهِ. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is dead and catched the ears of the dead goat and raised it. And then asked it, أَيُّكُمْ يُحِبُّ أَنَّ هَذَا لَهُ بِدِرْهَمْ. Who wants this with a dirham? Say $1. For nowadays, to make it understandable for the new generation. فقالوا ما نحب أنه لنا بشيء وما نصنع به. We don't want anything from it. What shall we do? It's dead. And they say, the Prophet ﷺ قال أتحبون أنه لكم. Do you like without $1, without the dirham? Just take it, to be for you. Then one of the companions said, فقال والله لو كان حيا. Or Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if it was alive, حيا كان عيبا فيه لأنه أسك, because the ears were cut. Even if it was surviving, like alive, we didn't like it. We don't want to own it. And Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam فقال والله للدنيا أهون على الله من هذا عليكم. This life that you are living in is the worst. Like has no, how much you disrespect this piece of meat. This is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will look at this dunya. That's why قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. Now human being بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. This is the part. We always get confused between the zina and the maqsad. We get lost. We get lost between those two. Brothers and sisters in Islam, when you live for Islam and you become a Muslim, it's really very important that to always look at the things from two sides. Not to be just like this life that people are in general in. It's always adjust the maqasid. Where is the purpose that what you are doing, this action, small or big? When you do the prayer, why I'm doing this? Is it because I'm used to it, or this is a duty on time that I have to do it? Or this is, I'm doing these actions, why I'm doing it? I'm advising my child, why I'm doing it? It's just to help him be successful in this hereafter, or to be in this life or hereafter. You look at your kids, the daughters or wives not wearing hijab, and you are not saying anything, as if it's just nothing. You have to, it's just to, you want to show their zina, their beauty outside, and you do not even open your mouth to tell them, sister, daughter, this is not, you have to, this is the maqsad, this life hereafter. So, and you look at the business, at the money that you gain, and so on and so forth. So every actions we do, even the degree that you pick, this degree will take me to where? It's really important to think about that. I'm taking the medical, okay, in the medical, find the place that you could benefit people, human being in general. Don't choose something which will cause damage to the human being. You become an engineer, the same, and so on and so forth. So every actions that you have to filter it. We are not the same to go with the flow. Remember that. You are not in this life to go with the flow as you want. If you want to have the chain of the barzakh and hereafter to stay in a right way, not to be in the ma'ishat al-dank, then you have to spend time on it. Really, you have to make sure that every stages of your life you do between those two qada, and what you have lost to make the tawbah to it. But you have the plan that for the future comes, use this life for the hereafter when you are getting in. So that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all to be from the part of the raja and from the fear to protect us from the hellfire, inshallah. وصلوا وسلموا على نبيكم ثابا لقوله تبارك وتعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا دينا إلا قضيته اللهم وفقنا وفق أولادنا لما تحبه وترضاه واغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمن له حق علينا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله قم الصلاة
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح لا إله إلا الله